But I find this question funny.
Yes.
Question about the people. One of the most funniest questions I ever had.
Yes, sir.
I had to ask Gadiethz.
Yes, sir.
If a boat was sinking and you only had to save one person, who would you save? Marlon Penn, Sophie B, or DJ Dre? So you don't know we here KrazyHype holding it down with the man himself, Gadiethz. Gotta tell the people what
only for things are going on, you don't know, uncensored, unplugged, unreal.
Uncensored, unplugged. To tell the people what Gadiethz is and who Gadiethz is about.
Well, as you know, Gadiethz are the voice of the voiceless. People out there who have things to say. We hang out on the corner every day and we listen to what the youth them are say, because we don't really respect the jacket and tie and the khaki suit thing. We deal with the youth them on the corner, we are hustle every day to make them daily bread. And the mothers them who out there we have to fend for them children with some father, some worthless father now mine and all these things. You see me?
Do you feel that you're the best doing what you do right now? The best person on the radio right now?
Well, we don't really compete, you know, so the word best not really fit this conversation. I would say that right now, groundbreaking. That's what we're there right now. Some new avenues, question that people are afraid to ask. Gadiethz ask them, and we're not afraid of the fire, because we see the fire for burning up for the purification of everything. So, you know, on radio, it's not just come to play music. On TV, it's not just to dress to impress. It's actually representing the people. And when you represent people, you have to represent them to the fullest. So, I take pride in everything I do, and my work is no exception.
For you, what was one of the most nastiest comments you ever heard about yourself?
One of the most ignorant comments that ever come forth across my knowledge is the fact that Gadiethz, them say Gadiethz hate the BVI. You know, I've been living here for 15 and a half years. And if I never loved the BVI, I would have packed up and left long time. My whole thing is when some people have their own personal problem where them can't find a solution to, the common denominator around here is Gadiethz. Let's pick on him. But you don't know, because we're the voice of the people with a mind, because we're a public figure. So when them pick pon with the rating, just go up, check the blogs.
You ever got the impression that whatever you try to do, persons have tried to sabotage it?
Well, people have tried to emulate what I've done. People try to, you know, criticize it, and then 2 weeks later, them that I do the same thing. Them say Gadiethz talk too much, but check your ratings, you know. Everybody on radio start talk. All the DJ them attack, and
so
the music them.
Is it a self-rating something, or what ratings are we actually talking about?
I am saying that we're breaking certain grounds, right. And people always criticize things where them don't understand or them don't understand. Radio is a method that is used to communicate with people, not just musically, but some people never usually activate them Facebook and see some things on it. You know, several topics out there. We don't sit down and wait on the Criminal News Network, aka CNN, for our news. We go out there and
we have our own problems. We have our own share of problems. And do you feel persons in the BVI crucify you for being too real?
It's the first in a long while them get somebody so straightforward. Yeah, when we say straightforward, we mean that, you know, I was told that the BVI is a hush-hush community that don't complain. But I read the history of the BVI, and the 1949 revolution that take place around here shows you long before I reach people that stand up for them right. It's just that through certain spoils and benefits now, and club membership is in abundance, people kind of subdue themselves. But the fire was always burning.
What I want to know about Gadiethz himself, what do you think about yourself personally?
Yeah.
You know, I can make a change for young people to actually say, alright, if this is your dream, go ahead, do it. Because growing up for me, I always wanted to interview people. I always had a thing for getting the air clear, whether it's right, even if it's wrong.
Yeah, well, I believe doing what you love is worth more than silver and gold. And what I do, I am comfortable in my skin, very comfortable. Over the years, after getting my name mixed up from politicians to religious leaders to area dan and even the governors. It really shows that I have made a strong impact in the British Virgin Islands as it relates to even the piece that was done on KrazyHype.com as to the 5 most quote-unquote hated person. I would say the 5 most influenced, because from lawyer, doctor, teachers and police and thief, Gadiethz them rate. Everybody have rated.
Gadiethz is a DJ or a radio personnel?
Have to say that I am straight up a radio personality. Pay grade higher.
So there's no gigs here, there, because what I was wondering is like, last festival what went down, you know, portions of where you walk, the other DJs got gigs in the festival village, and I was like, wait, why you got it in here? What happened? People don't why on here?
Well, that's a whole kettle of fish. Cause you know, so we said Digicel, and we said Digicel for Ivan and I, because Digicel is a liberator for us as youth and youth, where you usually have this high telecommunication thing. But you don't know, away from that, the boys club, after me refuse them membership and make them know so I'm not in them club thing, because of people, we say a portion of people gather together and them try to isolate Gadiethz, but we didn't doing that, them isolate themselves, because now them have to pay more money to get Gadiethz and more things to really get my attention, because we not too succumb to pressure.
So if, what are you trying to say, Gadiethz is all about the money?
Gadiethz have responsibility like everybody else, and we're not going to sell the ghetto youth them short like when enough of them DJ boy do, and enough of them whole heap of so-called artists do. The work what them a do, worth $2 but through a spoils and benefit and club membership, them take 200. And I say more fire for that.
So question about that, because now the higher you pay is the better the service you get. Now, with that being said, I want to get down to the bottom of it. Do you feel you have the best talk show radio-wise?
I have the most publicized show right now on radio.
Do you feel you have the best in competition, you would say? Do you feel you're better than Sophie B? Do you feel you're better than DJ Dre? Do you feel you're better than these persons?
My category is not in none of those people, none of the above. The above have been on radio long before Gadiethz. Right, and now I ask Rodney Herbert, when I come around him say him have more water than flour. And be a Johnny cake them usually eat, but through Gadiethz a flitters around it now more in quantity.
Listen.
So it's not a matter of better. These people have paid their dues and they have worked through the system.
All what you trying to say?
Yes.
I ain't gonna let you cover it up with some sugar. You're answering the question to me now. You're telling me now.
Yes.
They've been there, but they wasn't producing enough. But now you're here, and now you're producing more than enough. Is that true?
In a class by itself, you can't put me in none of them meta thing that you go reach back people. I am in a class by myself. I rate everybody, but at the end of the day, what Gadiethz does is what Gadiethz does. What other people do is what other people do.
Because if you can class it and you only say, alright, your ratings is off the chart or anywhere on the chart, might have been you're in competition with somebody else.
No.
Because if it's a chart, you can't be on the chart by yourself, correct?
No, but we don't in a chart. May I try to tell you, just like Digicel, 34 country, 1 network. Gadiethz, syndicated show all over the world. England all over the world listen to me. And this is not a brag thing. It is the statistics show. You know, and you have to, I come and set the trend. I'm one of the first radio personality around here that got signed and is still signed by the bigger better network. Check the level. Something must not something.
Alright. So the bigger better network is there by, you know, Digicel. So yeah. What I want to ask you,
yes, sir,
is what the people want to know.
Yes, sir.
A couple of days ago, one of your radio members had a fury against you, where he displayed some ignorance. There were some explicit languages, you know, and even threats towards Gadiethz himself. And I want to know, what is the beef between you and Juice?
Who is Juice? There's no beef between Gadiethz and nobody. As I said, we represent the youth. And the thing about it is, when you have your thing sort out properly, you gotta always find people who are gonna have a difference. Now I am a public figure. If a man take 2 hours out of him show for highlight my show, that means that I'm very important. This is not the first people have really jumped on the bandwagon of Gadiethz to make them name. But me just said that me in a war, because the war is not between me and no brother up on the street. The war is between me and the system, or AKA the shit.
What do he, because he was furious that this is a long time thing, because some of the stuff he was actually saying was very nasty comments, and he felt that he should have put it to like, what is your take on that?
As I said, I'm gonna make the record straight. I've been working at Zero for quite a while now. My boss, Mr. Rodney Herbert, if he's an idiot, you can't work with him. And several people come around him and have to run, because I guess why he's a brainist. Now, as to the situation and the individuals who was on my name on the national radio, that even people from New York and all over the world are call me and say, Wagwan. That individual, I feel, had more problems than just Gadiethz, you know, because as you know, he's no longer with the establishment, because, you know, he had issues. To be on the radio, you not only have to be a good personality, you have to be a good salesman. And right now, when you don't hear me on the radio, I'm out there tackle the business place them. You have to stick, you have to get busy. It's not about fame, it's about how you want out of your career. So that's how the thing set up.
You know, listen, we hear that.
Where one?
Do you feel that you yourself a BVI lander and share equal rights as a BVI lander?
What is a BVI lander? Somebody who come here before me, or that you ask me, because differently still. A lot of people reach a tattoo before Gadiethz, you know, and get some papers and them try to manipulate the system. I believe that so long as you live in our country and there is work to be done in a righteous manner, you have to step up to it. Because as I say to each and every one, you know, I live in the British Virgin Islands, and if the ship starts sink, just like anybody who live around here, we are going to jump ship. So it's up to, it's my responsibility to see the betterment of this country is always maintained in the forefront. Now me not pretty up how it for done, and me don't go around and beat in the bush for say, well, yo, mother love to see this and love to that. As far as getting this country on a running part, I have always played a significant role in the optimistic side of the British.
What are some of the positive contributions you have made being a radio personal so far?
Well, as you know, the BVI Olympic Committee can tell you, inspirational to the song where Keto named Rise. Yeah, we have our saying of that, because we have big saying of that. The great BVI Music Alliance, which is the latest project we work on, we just complete a thing with Luciana and linking up Dominica and, you know, so forth, to really get a part of that. That is something that I'm very passionate about. And of course, you know, my biggest achievement within the British Virgin Islands is to actually be merging with a company that actually helps the British Virgin Islands, and nobody can say like that.
Tell us how comfortable you are now living life that you're actually living your dream.
Yeah, my son, you know, my family.
Family?
Yeah, my family. I'm very, very much proud of it.
Okay. What about the case between you and your loved one, where it had a back and forth where y'all got in an altercation?
Yeah.
It was a hot water thrown and some kind of.
Well, as you know, the allegation goes, you know, man and woman are always have them issues there,
right.
And sometimes jealousy, it plays a big role in our relationship. And me and my woman got through a challenge. We're still together, and out of that bacchanal and all of the negativity where them they think in it
right.
positively, a youth coming out the world. So we have to put all of them things
and
aside.
Even so, you're trying to say whatever y'all had going on, you overcome all of that.
My youth is a blessing, and as me said, me don't want my youth grow up in a house with no one parent, because I don't cherish no single parent. No single parent ain't no thing around here. Man and a woman have to do this thing. Yeah. You see me?
Alright. So,
yeah.
question. It is alleged that Gadiethz went to a certain sponsorship, I wouldn't call it.
Okay.
And try to stop because this came directly from the sponsorship. What are your comments on that?
It all depends what was the sponsorship for and what was the sponsorship about. I don't know.
Is there a lot of people you went to?
No, sir. One. You know?
Only one.
You. It's a different list still.
Right.
KrazyHype did kind of step over the line when them just pass. Cause KrazyHype a try. KrazyHype know the kind of fire we got it's about around here, so. And different list still putting out an article and a heading. It creates a lot of negative reaction. So when KrazyHype do that and start to make them name now, it was alleged that KrazyHype a climb off a Gadiethz hype. Which when me talk to Massa now, Massa say, yo, we in the public and rare. So you have a lot of people right now we in the mix.
They will hate you, but they will love you still.
Them can't hate me, man.
They will hate
me, them rate me.
They'll hate
them
you.
Rate me.
They love you still.
No, they rate me and can't be me. So at the end of the day, it's all about let us tear him down.
So I want to know who killed the vibe first. Without you and Marlon, Penn, who killed the vibe first?
What vibes?
It had some tension between you and Mr. Penn. So
yeah, well, you don't know Mr. Penn, I rate him. But you know, we have to also, not because somebody is elected as our leader, mean that we can lead them intellectually.
Right.
And I believe that what Mr. Penn was being a politician at that time. He was catering to these voters, and voters will go to a politician and try to persuade them to take on an issue. But it's Gadiethz the real issue for the BVI.
So
check the level.
So have you ever stepped back and say, I wonder if I'm not taking constructive criticism?
Yes, man. Yes, man. As a family man, enough time all my family sit me down and say, Gadiethz, you have to be mindful that some of the people them out there where I think foolishly don't take you on. You know what I mean? But you know, it's a whole different dilemma that's going on right now.
If a boat was sinking and you only had to save one person, who would you save? Marlon Penn, Sophie B, or DJ Dre?
Marlon Penn, Sophie B, or DJ Dre.